What's up, listening audience? Camille Shabazz here. I'm just leaving the gym, feeling energized, feeling motivated, and I wanted to share with you some additional information on what I touched on last week in regards to seminal retention and the powers therein for the man who's not out here wasting his semen and wasting his life force, spreading it out thin, especially with unworthy vessels. In chapter 37 of the illuminating book entitled The Macadam, we talk about the powers briefly of seminal retention and how every sex act should not be for you to physically let out or ejaculate, but you should be, for the most part, retenting and using that sexual energy, that sexual power, as part of your power. Now, the amazing thing about this power of seminal retention that is not being explained is that that power, which is the power of absolute creation of a new life, well, that power, that seminal fluid, by the way, the human man, the human being, produces 300 million, minimum 300 million sperm cells a day. Think about that. 300 million of life forces that has brains, that has electrical charges, and we produce them at a rate of at least 300 million a day. Do the mathematics and tell me, if you were to retain, if you were to harness that life power and that life force, which boxers and entertainers and renowned men in different disciplines do, you would attain great power and influence in your own personal life first. And another thing that's not known is that every ejaculation that a man has is the nutritional outlet, or we let out the nutritional equivalent of 1 steak, 10 eggs, 5 oranges, and 4 lemons. That's the nutritional power that each ejaculation at a minimum releases. The equivalent to, I'm talking about a big steak. I'm not talking about no little piece of steak. I'm talking about a nice sized porterhouse or T-bone. Just think about that. That's the energy, the nutritional value that we let out. So when you retain and don't spread yourself thin, and you're able to harness and transmute that power for your own personal growth, development, and goals, you'll see the difference. Now, this is something that I experimented with before I even put it in the book, and I know the powers of sexual transmutation. And most of these women out here, I don't know what it is, but I know what it is. They don't want you to practice that, even though the D is better, you last longer, and it's all positive on all levels. For some reason, she wants you to let it all out. And we know why. We know why, because now the Samson and Delilah stories and, the Jezebel stories, they all make sense because they know innately, as you should know, consciously, is that semen has supreme power and nourishment in it. It creates life. It has the source of creation within it. Once we become one with it, we can create with it. Your creational possibilities are greatly reduced and destroyed from us wasting that all-powerful fluid of life. So, read chapter 37 of the Macadam. Read it. Sexual power, a must in a man's life. Harness that sexual power and that sexual energy, and the world is yours. More later. Peace.